What's good? What's poppin', everybody? It's Yaya, back like I never left with my first Dragon Ball Z Kakarot tutorial. This will be my tips and tricks on teaching you some advanced tips that the game really don't teach you via tutorial and can all be used at the beginning of the game, the earliest, the Saiyan Saga, and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I will be making more advanced guides in the future, so if you like this guide for the gameplay and how to do specific things and how to excel in the world of DBZ Kakarot, let's aim to 50 plus likes, y'all. Hit that like button. Shout out to Bandai Namco for sending me an early copy of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I really thought the game was going to be like a Xenoverse clone with no type of anime depth to it, but I found out some things you would like to love to use through your playthrough of Kakarot and help you dominate in combat. And also, spice it up a little bit. Let's talk about the first thing, combos. Simply by chaining multiple O's or circle attacks in successions will give out damage. The game, however, gives you 3 different types of finishers. One is square, one is triangle, and a circle finisher. However, the obvious best one so far is the triangle finisher. If the triangle finisher lands successfully, it will help you recover ki. However, what the game doesn't tell you is that it pushes your opponent away as well. Use this as a perfect opportunity to charge your ki once your enemy is knocked away. Another key tip is talking about guarding the game. Number 1, your guard is not invincible and it breaks after a certain amount of hits, aka should be common sense. During boss battles, the AI will continuously rush you down and break your guard if held for too long. Another thing the game doesn't explain is how good the guard actually is. If you have at least 49 to 50 ki after getting hit while in the block animation, you can perform a snap vanish counter attack. This mechanic is really good if you are low on health during the encounter, and also another clean way to charge up ki during battle. The way you execute it is right as you get hit as you're holding your shield, just hit the X button. You will 100% teleport right behind the opponent, initiating a animation that lets you knock the opponent far away, or if you're closer towards the ground, into a different area. Another cool tip about this game is kind of reminding me of Dragon Ball FighterZ with Super Dash. Boosting in battles is done with any direction with the left analog stick, and X to do a super boost towards your opponent while clicking in L3. This is useful because it will deflect ki blasts as you move, but also remember, you boosting and super boosting will consume your ki. Oh, a quick tip for people that want to make the game a little bit more challenging. A cool way to make this game harder is to literally not upgrade and don't really grind. You can put on all the moves and stuff, but potentially do not try to level up your character or give them stat changing boost or anything like that. The boss battles are not per se difficult, but can be very difficult the less damage input you put via boss battle. It's kind of like an endurance test. And look, I know there's going to be people out there that's going to have a very hard time with the game. A lot of people have trouble with every video game. What's easy to me could be hard for you. If you need help with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, I got the perfect thing for you. Always go to the shop, grab some for some money, and then literally buy a Vitality L. Literally, it gives you at least 3 to 4 health bars back in a boss battle. You're probably like, yeah, well, this is all good and all, but how do I learn combat moves and new abilities fast? Well, if you didn't see the trailer Bandai Namco put out, D medals are so important to making your character strong. D medals are used in events to learn super attacks at the training grounds or via a training room. You're probably having trouble finding those little glowing little stardust looking orbs. Hence, you literally just need to use one button and it will make your job way easier. L1, you can literally use key sense and key search with the L1 button. This is a very amazing way to find D medals because when you use key sense, they glow bigger and way easier to find them in the world and various maps of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Okay, you made it this far in the video and I appreciate it. Just hit that like button while you're still here. But I'm going to give you my honest opinions on the gameplay of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Number 1, is the gameplay repetitive? I mean, that's hence with every video game you play, like everything could be repetitive. I actually don't understand that statement when a lot of people in the anime gaming community say that, because if you play action RPGs, you're going to be doing something a lot. Is it fun though to do it a lot? And I feel like, yeah, it feels really good. I actually feel like in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, I feel more in control of my character than I ever was in the Xenoverse series. I also really love how the Snap Vanish works in this game. It's more beautifully illustrated and animated in my opinion. I really do like that. Can it be too easy? I feel like it's a little bit too easy if you grind a lot, and eventually when you go explore, you're kind of going to level up because you're going to meet enemies and stuff anyway. And I don't think there's a retreat option in Kakarot. But if you're a lower level, the game will probably be way harder because it'll be an endurance test of how long you can last versus how much damage they can put out on you before you actually kill the opponent. Another thing about Kakarot that I really love, the customization and like the upgrading is kind of crazy in this game because you have charts for everything. Like you got, on one hand there's a chart for just getting new moves, and then on the other hand you have things where you can link to like make your character stronger and have relationships with them, and they help boost different parameters for you. Then there's things that also remind me of like Final Fantasy 15, whereas like, you know, you had requirements to upgrade different things that you can do in day-to-day life. Prime example, in Final Fantasy 15 you can use fishing, you can upgrade photography and cooking, while in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot you can dead ass like 100% upgrade the fighting to like being able to be a mechanic and have a car to cooking. It still has that parallel that I really love, and there's some depth within that core part of the gameplay that I really do enjoy so far. Now right now I'm only like 5 or 6 hours in, and I literally have not even got past like the whole training with Gohan part in the Saiyan saga. I'm still ain't even got to Vegeta. Depending on how you play this game, you will probably clock in at least from the main story anywhere from almost 20 to 30 plus hours of gameplay. And if you do all the extra stuff along the way, which the side quests, they're not really like borderline boring side quests or anything like that. Honestly, felt like with Kakarot, the Kakarot in general, like all the side quests give you a reward too. Like they give you multiple rewards. They don't just give you like one item and then another thing. Like you get a whole bunch of other stuff that could be used for various parts of your character, your whole kit. It's crazy. Like I like what CC2 did here with the action RPG elements of the game. They actually went above and beyond, more than I actually expected it to do when I first saw the game. Like, honest to God truth, I thought Kakarot was going to be like, alright, you get a little board where you level up and then you could just like max up if you just play however you play the game. But here, you can't really even do that. So it prevents you from making yourself really broken. Because literally, I had this mindset when I turned on this game that I was going to go into it, I was going to grind, and I was going to go crazy hard with it. Like, I was going to go super hard. I was going to have like Super Saiyan 3 by the time I even get to Frieza. Like, that's how I usually spend a lot of time in RPGs. I know I'm weird like that, but I wanted to just break the fourth wall or break the weird immersion of just see how powerful I can get before I get to the end of the game, which the Majin Buu saga. I haven't even got there yet, and it's taking forever to even get past or even get to Nappa, dog. And I'm like 3 to 4 hours in, 5 hours in. So my opinions on the gameplay is that there is a little depth in there. It will feel somewhat like Xenoverse. However, the controls conflict with that ideology of it being a Xenoverse clone. I actually don't agree with that statement a lot. I feel like here the hits feel more impactful than they will ever do in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And that's just how I feel. I think this game is pretty solid. It's not the best Dragon Ball game on the planet. It's definitely right now for me top 5, top 10, and I haven't even got that far into the game, so that could potentially change. So hear me out. I could probably get to the end of the game, be highly upset. Another thing with the game people are complaining about are like the cutscenes. The cutscenes of the game is pretty crazy. Like, some cutscenes are just normal. You know, if you play the action RPG, you do realize that they're going to be idle animations and not just straight up, you know, consistent 62 animation over and over again. That's not really how RPGs really work. Yeah, some RPGs does it better, I can admit that. However, with Kakarot, what makes me like Kakarot a lot is that they keep the story very coherent, and all the stuff that feel like you don't probably want to see, or they take it out, or they at least mention it and put it in there like this actually happened, instead of just completely skipping over it like most anime games. The last thing I want to say about Kakarot is I generally do love flying around in this game. I know it's not a true open world game, but that's very important in an open world like game or a game with huge giant maps that you can go to. How is traveling? And traveling is pretty fun. At first, I kind of don't like how like ascending works with like R1, but R2 is really good. I don't know, it's kind of like inconsistent to me. That's just my take on it. Otherwise than that, like, I just love playing around and flying in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It gives me the same energy that Marvel Spider-Man did. It gives me the same energy that Spider-Man PS2 did back in the day. That's all I'm going to say. If you guys enjoyed this tips and tutorial video, I'm testing this out on the channel. I actually want to go more in depth with games that I play. I've been looking at a lot of other like Art of Combat videos for games like Nier. I'm probably going to test this out with Final Fantasy VII Remake when that comes out. Who knows? Subscribe, and I will have a part 2 about probably transformations and see what I can learn from transformations, if anything, when I get to that point. That being said, follow me on Twitter at avataryayaTV, and remember, you guys are golden, and that is raw. Squalla, peace!